Hello, welcome. My name is Henry Waters, and if this is your first time in this channel, you haven't subscribed to it, I guess you are missing a lot. Please do so by hitting that red subscribe button, turn on your notification icon bell so you get my notification once I release new videos. Okay. In today's tutorial has to do with forgot password system in PHP. Here you learn how to update and reset users' password. Okay, programmatically. In my previous tutorial, I taught you registration and login system in PHP. If you have not watched that, please check that out in my description box below. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you the starter files which I've included to other previous one. First one is the forgot underscore mailer, the forgot password page, the reset password, the session timer, and also not found. Okay, so let's get to it so that you see what I have for you. Quickly run through and show you some of these pages in my browser. This is my forgot password page. Okay, the user will enter their email and reset it, and they will get a mail in their email address. This is where they will reset their password, put a new one and confirm it. This is where they'll be redirected once they don't have the token on their URL, okay, that we use to reset their password. This is where they will head to, and they'll be sent here once the session has been timed out. That is if they don't update their password in the first 15 minutes. Okay, and I'll be showing you my database. This is the reset password table with their structure. Okay, this is how it looks like. All right, so I'll also show you the PHP mailer, the sample code. Okay, I will leave the URL in the description box. So this is where you get it, and this is where you can download the 5.2 stable version of PHP mailer. Okay, I will leave the description, the URL in the description box, and also when you get here, click on this code and click on download zip file and rename it to PHP mailer. Okay, as I have here. All right, so let's get to our code editor right away. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do here is to scroll down and show you the form. This is input field with the name email. Okay, the submit button has a name what submit. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do here is to define my result variable. Okay, call it result. So what is result? I'll define it and set it to an empty string so that once the page is being refreshed, it doesn't throw an error because I'll be echoing the variable here. All right. So that's why I have the initial definition of an empty string. All right. So this is where the variable will be echoed. Okay. So next thing I'm going to use an if statement is set. Okay. So with a global post variable. Okay. Submit. So once the submit button is being pushed, so let me just include my database connection like I'll always do. Database, then my db.php. So if that button is being pushed, I'll now define my email, give it an email as the variable, then my skli_real escape string function. This will prevent SQL injection, prevent an attack on our database. Then I'll pass my database connection variable hcon. That's what I have in my database file. Then the post variable that has the name of what email. All right. So I want to check now if the email variable, if the user didn't enter anything and trying to submit it. Okay. So I will use this bootstrap div class and append that there. So if it is empty, to show email address cannot be what? Empty. All right. So now else I'm going to check if the email exists in the database. So variable query. Okay, my database connection, I'll access the query function. So my SQL statement will be what? Select ID from users in my users table where email is equals to what? Arch email. The arch email is coming from what the user entered in the form. All right, it's coming here. Okay, so if statement, I'm going to check if the condition is true. That's if it exists in the database. So this condition means arch query check if the number underscore rows it is greater than 0. So this means if it is not greater than 0, so the error message is what I'll append here. So I'll change the text to what? Email address does not exist in the database. Okay, so that is what it is. So next thing I'm going to do here is to now have an what else statement. So else. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create a unique ID with a unique ID function and define it with a variable called code. Just call it code. Then unique ID function, pass the parameter to be true. Okay, let it be unique. Okay, this is what I'll be assigning to individual users. Okay, this is what will be fetched and checked and be used to process their password. Okay, so find another variable, call it query again, maybe query 2, then mysql underscore query function, pass my parameter database connection, then insert now into the table name I have in the database is what? Reset password. Okay, then what I have in each column is what? Code, email. Okay, the last one is what? Let me check that. Code, email, and what? Date. Okay, then values and code. All right, it needs to be accordingly. Then email, then noun function. All right, this will just update the current timestamp. Okay, so I'm going to check if the query is true now. So okay, if it is not query 2, if the condition is not true, that's if it is not inserted into this table, then what will happen? Exit function error occurred. Okay, then I can debug the error and use my mysql underscore error function and pass my database connection. Okay, this will help to debug it if there's any error that appears to occur. So if that is true, now I'm going to now include my forgot mailer. Okay, my email will run. So forgot underscore mailer .php file. All right, So once this is inserted, and if it's not inserted, this will run, but if it's inserted, this will run. Okay, I've already filled this out, okay, because I've done it before. SMT security SSL hostname mail.afriz.com, okay, port number 465, username my cpanel, email my cpanel, password, which I always change, okay, after this tutorial for security reasons. Then from where you'll be sending it from, okay, then the error message if the email is not successful. Then if it is successful, the message that will be returned. Remember, the variable is the result, okay, which will tally with what will be echoed out here, okay, because you need to make some changes once you copy the PHP mailer sample code. So this is my mail body. The name is various. You can put your brand name. Then the subject is reset password. And this is where I appended the code, this unique ID code that I defined here. All right. This is why I appended it in the URL. Okay. This is what will be checked in the reset password PHP file. Okay, to know the exact user that has that code. It's unique. All right. So after this, this is what the user will have in their email body. Okay. So that is it. So next thing I'm going to move into our reset password.php file. Okay, if you scroll down, you're going to see the form here where it has the new password and the confirm password input fields with the submit button with value of what reset. So what I'm going to do is to enable this checkout box. Okay, this will show the entered password. Okay, I need to enable that. It's a new feature so that once the user enters their password and you click on this, it will show their entered password. Okay, so I'm going to be doing that with the JavaScript. All right, so I'll define a function, call it function, name it, give it the name of what, toggle. All right, then define a variable, call it pass. Okay, then document dot get element by id. The id is what, type pass. Okay, type pass is the id which I have here. The second id is what, type pass 2 for the confirmed password. So I'm just going to copy this and duplicate it. So I can just call it variable pass 2. Okay, then type pass 2. So next thing I'm going to do here is to use an if statement now. So the first variable pass, okay, dot type, if it is equal to password. Okay, so this dot type means input type. Okay, initially it is password, so if it is equals to password, then the variable pass with type will now be what, will now change it to what, text, so it can be able to be visible to the user, okay, once they push the toggle button. All right, so that is it. So I'm just going to copy this, do the same for the confirm password input field. So change the variable to what, pass 2, and then pass 2. Okay, else, okay, no, if none of those condition works, then leave it the both password as what, password. So initially it will be in hidden field, password hidden field. So that's what that means. So I'm going to copy this and paste it there. Then change the variable to what, pass 2. It's very simple. Then this toggle function, we're going to add it here in the input field in an on-click attribute. Okay, call it toggle function. All right, that's it. Very, very simple. It's very, very simple. So I'm going to scroll up now and start my PHP code. So first thing, I'm going to define the variable, call it message. Okay, always empty. And I'm just going to comment this. This is where the message will be echoing. Error or successful message. Then I will include my database like I always do. Okay, database, then my db.php. Then if statement now, if it's not a set function, okay, I'm going to explain that just a minute. Code, then exit, then now I'll append the include function and add my not found PHP file .php. Okay, what this necessarily means, once the user clicks on this link, any of the link, okay, to reset their password, it will check if the code is not set, if it's not appended, okay, so it will redirect the user towards not found page, the access denied page, which is here. Okay, that's what happens there. Then I'm going to define it and call it code and use a global PHP get variable, okay, to get the code from the URL. All right, so I'm going to check if the code exists in a database. Right, so I'll use a variable, call it get email. Okay, then use my sqli underscore query function, pass my database connection variable, then select email, reset passwords. Okay, I hope I got the spelling. That's what I'm supposed to have in my database, reset passwords. Okay, where the code is equals to what? The fetched code. Okay, this code I was gotten from the URL. All right, remember here it was inserted in the database, the code, so I'm checking if it is there, right, in order to fetch the user's email address. Okay, so I'm going to use a variable, call it row, then use my sqli fetch array function, then pass the get email variable, pass it there. So I can as well fetch it. Okay, remember it's fetching this email from the reset password table. Okay, so that's it. Then email, the index name is what's email, which is this, that email. So I'm going to leave this for now. I'm going to make use of that email later in the code. All right, so I'm going just going to use an if statement and check if the email doesn't exist. Okay, I'll use a mysqli underscore num rows function, pass the get email variable, get email variable. Okay, so if it is equal to 0, that means if it doesn't exist in the database, I'm still going to include this and exit it. Okay, all right, So next thing I'm going to do now is to um, define our default time zone set now. So the code that will be run here is to check if the user wasted time before they could update their password in the database. Okay, so first I'm going to do is to define time zone set date underscore time zone set function. Then you add your continent. Okay, I'll add Africa for this tutorial. If you're in Asia, you add Asia slash maybe Calcutta for India. Forgotten the exact name of the city. If you're in America, you do America slash Los Angeles. Ghana, you do Africa slash Ghana. If you're in Nigeria, you do Africa slash Lagos. Okay. So you can also always check it out to know your time zone set of your area, so you can be able to get the correct time in your database. All right. So define a variable, call it SQL1. Okay. Then I'll do something like select what's it called? Time stamp. I think stamp div. Okay, and pass it in second, the date, and the noun function. All right, so that is it. So as time different t div, okay, from reset password where code is equals to what? Hash code that has been gotten from the URL, this hash code. So I'm trying to check the time difference once they click the link, and the one I have the time that is being inserted in the database. I'm going to check the difference. If it is greater than 15 minutes, okay, then I will know what to do next. So in order to do that, I'll be using prepared statements, define a variable, call it result, con, okay, then prepare function, then pass my SQL1 variable. Okay, so this variable is being passed here. So after that, then I will execute my result. So my result, user execute function. After execution, I will store my result. Okay, after you execute it, you store it. So use a function called store underscore results. Okay, I think I'm right. Then after you store it, you bind your result to the a variable, to this tdf variable. So I'm going to use a bind underscore bind underscore result, sorry. Then time different tdiff. Okay, so I've binded my result in this variable. Okay, what was checked, right? Then I'll now fetch it. So my result, I'll fetch the result using fetch function. Okay, all right, so this will check the time difference. Okay, when the user click on the link from their email, and the difference between that time and when the code was inserted in the reset password table. So using an if statement now, if the tdiff, the time difference, okay, if it is greater than or equal to 15 minutes is times 60 is 900, which is 900 seconds. Okay, it must be in seconds. All right, so if it's greater than 900, I'll define a variable, call it remove query. Just call it remove query. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete uh, the table, the row that has the code, okay, of the user. So query function. So my statement will be what? Delete from reset passwords, right? Where, using where clause code is equals to what? Hash code. Okay, so if it is greater than these 900 seconds, it will delete what was inserted in this reset password. Okay, it will just delete it automatically. Then once it's deleted, I want to redirect the user to this not found page. Access denied. Okay, no, I will redirect the user to session timeout. Okay, and tell the user the session has been timed out after 15 minutes for password reset. Okay, so I'll change this to what? Session timeout.php file. So that's where the user will be redirected to. Okay, all right. So all this condition that was checked is not to check once the user has pushed this button, all these codes will run. Okay, so I'm now going to work on the form now. So using an if statement, if is set function, okay, the post variable of submit. Okay, so this stage has to do with the user resetting his or her passwords. Okay, so if that button, this button resets with name submit, okay, is if it is being pushed. So I'm going to define the password, okay, using my SQLi underscore real escape string, passing database connection variable, then the post. Okay, I'm sure the name is password. Okay, the name is password, with the second one is C password. So I'm going to define both of them. So change this variable to C password and the index name to what? To C password. All right, so next I'm going to do is for the validation of the password, okay, to have a very strong password string. I think I have that code in my my member register, okay, in my previous tutorial. So I'm just going to copy it here. Okay, just endeavor to watch my first video in this tutorial. So I'm just going to paste it there. Right, so this will check for the uppercase if the password has an uppercase character. Okay, if it will check here for lowercase. Okay, that's why it has a small letter of A and Z. To check if the password contains a number from 0 to between 0 and 9, and there's also check for a special character. Okay, that's what this does. All right, so using an if statement now, okay, I'm going to check if the password, if it's equal to what? If it's equal to empty, okay, I'm just going to copy this, sorry, just C password if it's equal to what? Empty. I omitted something here. It's equal to empty. So this means if the password variable is equal to empty, or the C pass variable is equals to empty. All right. So if that is true, I'm going to go back here and copy some of these error messages. Okay, and just paste it there and change this variable to what? Message, because that's what I have here, and that is what I'm echoing out here. So I'll change the text and say password, okay, cannot be empty. All right. Okay. Next condition, I'm going to check. Um, I'm going to check if the password doesn't match. Okay, if match password is not equal to C password. Okay, that means if it doesn't match. So if it doesn't match, the error will be what? Password did not match. Okay. So change this text to something like maybe oops, passwords, okay, did not match. Right? Try again. And else if okay, this is where I'll be adding both the uppercase. I'm going to check for this validation here. Okay, that's what I'm going to check. Okay, this means if it's not uppercase, okay, so this is where I have the pragmat function. Okay, if it is not uppercase, if it's not lowercase, or if it is not number, or if it is not special character, or if the string length part of the password, this variable is less than what? 8. If those conditions are true, then an error will occur. Okay. The error message will be what? Password must be 8 characters in length with at least one uppercase and lowercase letter, one numeric and special character. Right? I can as well just add an example. Okay, maybe var skill 247 at 1. All right. Okay, that is it. So next thing up now is to, so if all this condition, if there's no error, okay, then I'm going to hash the password now, then update the database. So find a variable, call it password, use password underscore hash function, password underscore hash function, then pass the password variable, then using a password decrypt constant. Okay, like I used in my previous tutorial. So I'm going to now update my users table to update the password now. Okay, so this is my users table here. This is my users table. All right, so arch query, then my SQLi underscore query function, pass my database connection variable, then my statements be update users. Okay, that users table set password, okay, to be equal to what I have in my password variable, password as password. Okay, now where do you want that to be done? Using where clause, where my email is equals to what? Is equal to what I have here. Remember, when I fetch this email from this reset passwords, okay, where the code is what is being appended here. Okay, so meaning that this will enable us to know to update the email address, okay, the password that has that email address. So this is the variable that I'll be needing. All right, so that is it. So if the condition is true, if that query, if the query is true, okay, so if it's true, and I'm going to still delete it again, so I'm just going to copy this and delete the code from the reset password table. Okay, I might just change this to query. All right, so once that is deleted, and I can as well echo a successful message to this variable, and we can change the text to what? Password updated. Okay, password updated successfully. All right, so that is it. Okay, I'll just paste it there, right? It will have a link to login. Then I'll change this bootstrap class to alert-success. Okay, so after else, which closed here, then if, okay, for this to work I need to use an else statement, else I will close it right here. Okay, it's looking good now. All right, so after that, else is another else statement. Copy this, paste it there. Okay, after that, if there's any error, supposedly just say something went wrong. Okay, contact the admin. All right, so I think that's just it. Okay, so we're now going to go and text our code now. Right, before that, I'll quickly look at this code to be sure there's no error. Okay, all right, select email from, okay, from, all right, from set passwords. Okay, there's not supposed to be a brace there. Okay, remember this means the time difference from the date column with noun function, the current timestamp, okay, in seconds, which checks if it is greater than or equal to 900 seconds, which is 15 minutes. Okay, so that's what that checks. All right, so I'll go back to this one. Is there any error? Okay, it's supposed to be double question mark to check if it's empty. All right, so let's move into our browser now. Refresh that. Okay, it's looking good. Remember, this is our login.php form. When we click on this forgot password, we get here. So once I push this request reset, it says what email address cannot be empty. All right. So if we put a wrong email address, this email address we don't have it in our database. Okay, we only have only one account. So once I click on the reset, it will say what it does not exist in the database, right? So if we put the right email address and click on reset, let's see what's going to happen. Okay, just it's coming up. All right, remember, if you have gotten to this stage of this tutorial, don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up. I will appreciate it so much. If you have any question, okay, leave it in the comment section. I will attend to them. Right? All right. If the message was successful, please check your email inbox or spam folder. All right. So I want to check our inbox. Remember, if don't forget to subscribe if you have not. All right. So yes, we got the email in our email inbox. So when we open the email now, this is the email. These are the link. Remember, this is the code, the unique code, right? So if we go back to our database now and check this reset password table, you can see the email was inserted. The code is the same thing with this. Okay, so that is what it will be checking, right? So remember, once I push this, the rest of this code is going to be running. Okay, it's going to check if the code exists. If it's not, go to not found page. It's going to check for the email right in the database using the code that's been appended in that URL and every other thing. So I'm going to click on this reset. All right, see, once we click on this reset, it's jump all these other conditions. So we are right here. Okay. So even if you enter wrong email address and click on reset, what does it say? Password does not match. If you click on this like this, password cannot be empty. So if you enter password, click on show. As you can see, it is showing the password. So this feature that I added here is working. This server feature that has this on-click toggle function is working. All right, so we can be able to see our password. So I'm going to add the password. Let me just call it H capital letter Henry Waters at 1. All right, do the same here, Henry Waters. So as you can see, we have uppercase letter, lowercase, then a number, special character, and then a number. So I can also close this and click on reset. Right, password updated successfully. So if we click to login, it's going to take us back to this login page. All right. So let's check the other feature. Okay. Okay. Let me just go back, see whether I can log in with that password. Henry Waters at 1. Login. See, I've logged in. All right, so this is working really perfect as we want. See, what I want to do now is to request for a reset of the password, and I'm not going to reset the password till after maybe 20 minutes. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do now, and click on reset password. All right, the email has been sent again. Okay, but this time around I'm not going to click on the link. Okay, I'm just going to wait so that the time session will lapse, right? So we can be able to check if our script is properly working. Okay, all right, so this is the inbox. It has one email. All right, so we have gotten the email, so we're going to wait. So I'll try and click on this link after 15 minutes of my time. Alright, I'm back and it's more than 15 minutes now. This is about 32 minutes ago. So I'm going to click on this link and see what's going to happen. Yes, as you can see, access denied. Sorry, this session has timed out after 15 minutes for password reset. Okay, see we have been redirected to the session timeout page. Alright. So guys, if you have gotten value to this tutorial, please give me a thumbs up and like this video, share it with your friends, keep in touch. If you have any questions, leave that in the comment section and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.